Hi, I'm Marianne Harmon, the founder and creator of Music with Mare, and I'm just sitting here playing some patterns on my piano. I would like to introduce to you a series of videos about the connection between music and math. The first video will be just on that subject, and the second video will go into how music activities help to develop and enhance math skills. The third video will be about specific songs that actually teach math concepts. Music has always been known to be important. Even Plato said music gives flight to the imagination. And Einstein said that he often thought in mathematics, and had he not been a mathematician, he would have been a musician. In fact, he was quite the accomplished violinist. Now, why do music and math go together so well? Well, first of all, there's patterns. The keys on the piano are in patterns of black and white with sets of 2 and 3. So math is sets and patterns, and so is music, and so is geometry. See how they all go together? And the note values are actually fractions. There are whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. A whole note is 4 beats, a half note is 2 beats, a quarter note is 1 beat, an eighth note is a half beat. Now, if you happen to be a musician, you know that that's not always true, but it is in common time. And that's what we're going to deal with, common time. So in common time, if we had to have 4 beats in a measure or 4 beats in a set, we would have to come up with patterns of those 4 notes that equal 4, like 2 half notes equal 4, or 1 half note and 2 quarter notes would equal 4. Sometimes the beats are going to be in sets of 3, and we'll have to come up with sets that equal 3. The pitches in music are also mathematical. They're just so far apart, and in order to be that certain pitch, they have to be so many tones apart. And so we wind up with high and low, just like we have high numbers and low numbers. The music connection is so strong that many mathematicians that are math majors in college have minors in music, and likewise, many music majors are math minors. The connection is wonderful, and I am here to tell you that if you make music a part of your child's life in the early years, I'm willing to bet they're going to be pretty good at math. Let's get into some specific activities that we do with music that help the brain better understand mathematics. Well, here's a drum. Pattern on the drum help you understand patterns in mathematics. So if you ask the children to repeat back the pattern, they have to listen and make the same pattern. Mathematics. You can also ask them to move their bodies to the way the sound of the drum is moving. Like if the drum were going like this, maybe they would gallop. But if the drum's going like this, steady walking, or fast, a faster tempo. When they can move their body like that and understand their bodies in time and space, that's called spatial temporal reasoning. And there is a big connection between children having spatial temporal reasoning and being able to be successful with higher level mathematics. I always like using the kazoo, and this is another way that children can practice with patterns. You play a pattern on the kazoo, and they have to play it after you. Do, do, do. They have to listen and repeat the pattern. That also, again, here we go, more mathematics. How about dancing? When you're dancing, you're feeling beats and sets. You can be dancing like this and feeling the beats, or you can be doing a waltz. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or what if you're marching? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You're finding and feeling that beat, that cadence. You're feeling the accents on specific beats. All of that is mathematical understanding for later on. Is their little brain thinking of it at the moment? And they're going, I'm doing patterns for mathematics. No, but the brain is filing that information and will use it when it is needed for math later on. If you dance with children, march around the room, play musical instruments, have them repeat patterns, and also have them following the contour or movement of a voice, you are putting math skills in place. This is really fun way to do it. Math is not all that difficult if when we're younger, we have fun with music and get those skills put in place. Let's march on to the next video. This is the part where we're going to talk about specific songs that teach concepts. Whereas the other songs didn't discuss mathematics, they just got us ready for them. These songs actually teach math. I have a song I do with the children where we march and count by twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. They're learning to count by twos while they are marching and feeling that cadence. We can also have them waltz and while they'll count by 3, 1, 2, 3, waltz with me, count by 3, so that they are doing the concept while feeling the concept. There are other math songs. I have one called Spy Numbers. And in this one, I get out a little spyglass and I put patterns on the floor. Now you can have a pattern of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You can have a pattern where you're skipping numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then what you do is you take one of the numbers out of each sequence. And the children have to look around like spies to find the missing number. What's happening here? They're equating math with fun because what child doesn't like it when you tell them, let's be spies and find our missing numbers? So we are learning sequencing, listening and finding missing numbers, which is algebra, and we're having fun while we're doing it. There are also books that teach counting, like the old The Ants Go Marching. And this teaches how things multiply, because in the very beginning, the ants are just marching one by one, and you just see the one ant. But on the next page, they're 2 by 2. And as you progress through the book, there's more and more ants till finally at the end, when they're marching 10 by 10, you have 100 ants. And the children are starting to learn multiplication. For little guys, there's stories like This Old Man that starts to teach numbers, and they have This Old Man, he played 1. And then on the next page, he plays 2. And you can see where they're adding the numbers together. They're adding the numbers together so the children can see that 1 plus 1 equals 2. And it goes on throughout the book so that by the end, they can see how all the numbers add together. And when you put this together with a song, they're definitely going to remember it because they're hearing it, they're seeing it, they're moving to it, and that guarantees memory. There are a lot of really good resources out there for you. I know I myself have 5 different math CDs out. We group by tens with disco dancing so that we're moving and dancing, feeling the beat, and grouping by 10. There's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So you have all those four main parts of mathematics that, and I'd like to share a story with you before we end this section. And that is that I was once working with a fourth grade teacher who had this little girl that could not get the concept of multiplication. So I lent her, or actually I gave her a copy of my multiplication CD. That teacher got back in touch with me a couple of months later and told me that that little girl was multiplying all the way up through the 6th timetable. Wow. That's just because we combined music with the math skill. So be sure to use music with math when you're teaching it for the benefits of the music, for the connection, and just because it's going to make mathematics fun. Music and math, they go together.